and you'll soon reconnect. Tech giants said today's digital native kids would be the first generation who would not know what it meant to get lost. But is that a good thing? Well, we don't know. We've lost direction and our brains are shrinking. At least our hippocampi are. Let's see this word. From the beginning, I have a word that I don't know.
Hippocampi.
Hippocampi. Hippocampi are. These brain measure about 5 centimeters, set just above both ears and drive our spatial. Let's see, I think it's spatial, something like this.
Spatial.
Yeah, spatial awareness and orientation. London taxi drivers, famed for taking the knowledge at test that involves memorizing the central streets of the capital, have full-sized hippocampi. But in 2011, neuroscientists at University College London discovered that the cabby's hippocampi shrank significantly after retirement. The development of the hippocampus, let's see.
Hippocampus.
Hippocampus can also be stunted in childhood. Children living in urban environments rarely see the sun rise or set and cannot tell the difference between east and west. When I volunteered to go into my local school to teach kids about direction, I found they struggled to distinguish north from south and east from west. They could do so if allowed to use their phones. Since 2005, when Google Maps was launched, claiming it would help users get from A to B, and then 3 years later, when the iPhone 3G was released featuring live location, the online tech giants stated that today's digital native kids would be the first generation who would not know what it meant to get lost. But is that a good thing? Their horizons and orientation, like the hippocampi, are shrinking with a collision. Let's see how to pronounce this word.
Collusion
of online providers. In 4 generations, children have gone from roaming up to 6 miles from home to an average of just 300 yards. Even before COVID, surveys found that 3/4 of children spent less time outdoors than prison inmates. Many parents know that subsequent 50% rise in agoraphobia has profoundly affected children's mental and physical health, but it also drives biophobia and avoidance, even fear of natural world. If we come to dread nature, the result is an indifference, even hostility towards environmental conservation. Wherever kids do travel, they are probably following the blue dot on their phone screen, showing them the way without reference to the world around them. Maps have never been more accessible in the palm of our hands on our phones, but they are as much a tyranny. Let's see, this word is a difficult word for me.
Tyranny.
A tyranny as a liberation. Our phones now map us, harvesting our online likes and dislikes. The famous blue marble marble Apollo 17 photograph of the Earth is upside down. Current studies suggest a link between this so-called developmental topographical disorientation and mental health, as online experiences lead to a digitally poisoned. Let's see this word. Is it poisoned?
Poisoned.
Yeah, it's poisoned. Poisoned awareness of space and place. We are becoming quite literally disoriented in digital world where we have given up on tools that enhance our cognitive abilities, like paper maps and magnetic compasses. Let's see this word. Yeah, I saw it before, but
Compasses.
Compasses that enabled us to navigate and orient ourselves in tandem with the physical world. We have retreated from using the spatial skills that sustained us from millennia. No wonder our sense of being lost is existential as much as directional. Let's see this word.
Millennia.
To be disoriented means to be lost to the east. The word comes from Latin, from the sun rising in the east. In ancient history, most societies were oriented with east as their prime direction. The source of light, heat, and life-giving sun. West, where the sun sets, came next. North and south then followed. As people located them by the position of the sun at midday and visual astronomical observation of Polaris. Let's see this word.
Polaris.
The North Star, early polytheistic. Let's see this word.
Polytheistic.
Polytheistic societies worshipped the sun rising in the east, a tradition inherited by monotheistic Judeo-Christian belief that put east at the top of their maps as the location of the beginning of creation and the place of recreation. In the Old Testament, let's see this word, Testament. Creation starts in the Garden of Eden in the east. The medieval Mava Mundi in Hereford Cathedral has east at the top, showing Adam and Eve in Eden and west at the bottom. This was an orientation that defined European Christianity for more than 1,000 years. Let's see how to pronounce this word. Eden. I pronounce it.
Eden.
It's Eden. That's Eden. It's Eden. Eden again. This word.
Christianity.
Okay. By contrast, early Islamic maps placed south at the top because the people that first converted to the faith lived directly north of Mecca. The easiest way to understand the holy direction was to orient their maps so that Mecca was up. We still talk about going up north and down south in the UK, and an old hangover from understanding the 4 points of the compass. Let's see this word again. Although they put it in my
Compass.
Compass according to our bodies, up and down, front and back, or left and right. South does just as well as the cardinal direction as it was for classical Chinese science, which had its magnetic compasses pointing south, not north. They are called Lugine, I suppose. The thing that points south, Australians know this. In 1979, Stuart MacArthur published his universal corrective map of the world, oriented southwards with Australia at the top. The compass appeared in the 13th century of European maritime. Let's see this word. I think it's a new word for me. Let's see it.
Maritime.
Maritime. Maritime maps that allowed navigators to orientate themselves on a north-south axis. Let's see this word.
Axis.
Axis. But it took another 400 years for these maps to agree on putting north at the top, which had always been an let's see this word. Inauspicious direction in most societies as a place of gold and darkness. It was crowned cardinal direction by the Flemish map maker Gerardus Mercator, but Mercator was more interested in enabling pilots to sail accurately east to west. On his world map, 1569, distortion. Is it distortion? Let's see. Distortion was minimized either side of the equator, which was ideal for European maritime empires sailing east to west via Cape Horn and the Cape of Good Hope. The north and south poles, I suppose. Let's see it.
Poles
were projected to infinity, as everyone presumed they were ice-bound, and traveling there seemed pointless. This article going on and on. Rather than looking up, we spend our time looking down, glued to the blue dot on our phones. Let's see this word. Glued. Yeah, glued. So, north traumified. Let's see, traumified. Triumphed accidentally because nobody wanted to go there. As Europe's imperial map makers cemented. Let's see this word. Cemented north as the cardinal direction. Other traditions prioritizing different directions were dismissed and erased. The West succeeded in putting north on top at the expense of places it denigrated. Let's see this word. Denigrated and labeled Southern America and Africa, or as part of the Middle East. When NASA first saw the image of the Earth photographed by the Apollo 17 astronauts on 7 December 1972, they rotated the original photo 108 degrees to show north at the top rather than south. The famous blue marble photograph, one of the most reproduced images in human history, is actually science. No society have put at the top of world maps because of its associations with sunset and death. But as a political idea, the West was situated north on top after centuries of imperial domination. But will it stay there as India and China reoriented our global economy. See this word?
Reorientate.
Reorientate our global economy and potentially turn it 108 degrees. Might the use of compasses disappear altogether and with them the cardinal directions? In my lifetime, we have gone from looking up, aspiring to a shared global village inspired by NASA's blue marble photograph, to looking down, glued to the blue dot in our phones as our hippocampi shrink and many of us withdrew from nature. It probably isn't the end of civilization. I pronounce it correctly. After all, maps and compasses are cognitive artifacts. Let's see this word. I always have a word to see.
Artifacts.
Artifacts. Artifacts, the internet, and we've been using them for millennia. I also millennia, but for our sense of well-being and that of the world that sustain us, we can take steps not just to appreciate nature but understand how we are part of it, acknowledging that it will always be bigger than us in a positive, not phobic way. Many share basic principles of be grounding, breathing, being in the moment, imagining ourselves from outside or above our bodies. It seems that more than ever we need to explain who we are by understanding where we are. Here are a few tips on how to do so. Take your bearings. Let's see how to pronounce this one. Bearings, I suppose.
Bearings.
Take your bearings. Use a compass, even on your phone. Is it compass? I always struggle to pronounce this word.
Compass.
Or to work out the 4 cardinal directions. Time and space are interrelated. Let's see this word. New word again.
Interrelated.
So rethink your attitude to clock time by noticing the movement of the sun east to west, from sunrise to sunset. As the sun sets, identify north by finding Polaris. Let's see this word again.
Polaris.
We are just a dot in the universe. Accept it. Use a paper map. It is a declining art, but using paper maps will make you more aware of your surroundings. An archaic English term for map is a plot. Just like a story, turn your route into an adventure. Feel the wind. Thousands of years before the innovation of compass, we understood and identified the 4 cardinal directions according to winds. Identify the wind's direction according to your body. Is it behind or in front of you? Look up, turn around, acknowledge its force. This is a simple grounding exercise that orients us. Let's see this word again.
Reorients
us according to the elements. Get lost. Take a trip. Turn off your phone and deliberately get lost. It is a little scary, but it will heighten your senses and sharpen your appreciation of the world around you. If that is too daunting, read Rebecca Solnit's A Field Guide to Getting Lost, because as Solnit suggests, who knows what you might find when you deliberately get lost. Oh God, I finished this article. Congratulations me. Have a lovely day, everyone. I'm gonna pause a bit so I can see if that